Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to know about the revolt of 1857, which also is hailed as India's first war of independence or Sepoy Mutiny. Brewing over for decades, the onset of rebellion was caused because of multitude of factors, of which we'll consider the two major ones. Let's begin with the disparity of pay and promotion. Major chunk of British East India Army comprised native Indians with a very low number of Britishers, but there was a huge gap in pay for a British soldier and an Indian soldier for the same level. Also, Indian were skipped most of the times for promotion, thus sending Britishers to the top of the chain within a very short period of time. This created a sentiment of anger and vexation among the Indian troops. Next on our list is the presence of Christian mercenaries in the locality of military establishment. Fear that the British wanted to convert Hindus and Muslims into Christianity had made an undisputed mark on the psyche of Indian troops. It was said that even in the ranks of East India Company, a number of officers were of the argument to keep missionaries away from their military establishments. Being aware of the fact that if they had to keep control over India, then they need to have control over Indian troops, and it is better if their religious integrity was not threatened. And third and the last factor, which played the driving factor for rebellion of 1857, was the cartridge of Enfield rifle. To load the rifle, sepoys had to bite the cartridge open to release the powder. It was asserted by the sepoys that cartridge paper that they had to bite was covered with cow and pig fat, thus insulting to both Hindus and Muslims. This caused a huge uproar when one of the Indian troops from lower caste affronted a high caste sepoy, telling that he has lost his high caste status the moment he bit the cartridge. Similar kind of feeling throughout the Muslims community and Hindus together erupted throughout the troops, causing a rebellious outbreak all around the country. Again, to emphasize, there were more factors which culminated in the rebellion of 1857, but we are not going to cover all of them. The rebels, they massacred and looted every British establishment. Christian missionaries were hunted and churches were burnt. Huge number of British officials and their families changed their appearances to either hide from the mutineers or to reach a more secure British cantonment. In the aftermath of mutiny, a huge number of mutineers reached Delhi in the court of Bahadur Shah Zafar, the last Mughal emperor, and urged him to lead the cause and establish the Mughal rule under his leadership. Bahadur Shah, however, declined this request and chose not to be a participant in this mutiny, which was, of course, futile because his sons were killed and he was banished to Burma on the charges of mutiny for the rest of his life, despite the fact that he saved a number of British women, children, and officials from the rebels. Here also, as in the case of Vellore mutiny, the rebels started looting money and jewelry, rape and murder was rampant, and they burned localities wherever they thought they had British presence. Their rapacity and plundering diverted them from securing themselves from British retaliation. Huge number of mutineers were captured and were blown by tying them in front of the artillery or were hanged publicly to send the message throughout the country. Despite being a failed attempt, the rebellion of 1857 shook the British Raj to their core, and the British crown entered the country, formalizing its dominion over India, thus taking the power from the hands of British East India Company.